Am I on? Hey guys, what's up? I'm trying to make, this is my second, what is this, like my second live. The first one was just a test. So bear with me. All right. Once again, I'm going to make sure, let me know if you can see me. Wait, who's rolled the tape? Said we are waiting, Avery. Okay. If you can see me, let me know. All right. Send me a thumbs up. Oh, and we do have on, my moderator put it on slow mode. So when it comes time for the comments, just so they're not coming in as fast, they are on slow mode. So it'll take a second for them to come through. But I just want to make sure, okay, are we good to go? We are good. I'm waiting for somebody to send a comment so I can make sure you guys can see me and everything's good, since my moderator is still in here with me. So just in case if anything needs to be changed, I want him to change it right now. Okay, I'm good. Happy New Year. All right. Thank you. Roll the tape. Thanks. All right. So you guys know it is December 30th. More importantly, it's actually the day before my birthday. My birthday is tomorrow. But no. So it's December 30th. We are ending 2020. It's finally coming to an end. And we all know that around this time, everybody is like on their New Year's resolution kick. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to kick this. So the reason I wanted to do a live tonight for a few reasons. One, I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you guys before my birthday because my birthday is tomorrow. All right. So I wanted to still work on our connection. I have not been on here in a few days. So that was that. We'll play some games or do whatever, later if you guys want to do some questions and answers. But also, I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions. I do not like New Year's resolutions. And I've been seeing a lot of articles coming up lately like, hey, this is the year to get rid of them. I have always been against them, and I will tell you guys why. But this is the time, like I said, to get rid of New Year's resolutions more than ever. We all know that 2020 has been wild. It has been a complete roller coaster. And the thing now is that New Year's resolutions do add a lot of stress to people. The main thing that sticks out with the New Year's resolution is that something is wrong in your life and that you need to fix it, or that you have bad habits, or you need to get healthier, or whatever. And I am all about accountability and growing and moving forward and checking on yourself, but you also have to give yourself some grace. This is the time, honestly, to reflect and give yourself some grace, love on yourself a little bit, and not put that extra pressure and stress on yourself when it comes to New Year's resolutions. Okay. Because yes, they do, like I said, they kick bad habits. You can have your health and fitness goals, but most of the times, most people set unrealistic expectations when it comes to the resolutions. They'll think of like, oh, I'm going to run a marathon, or, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And we have already been through so many changes. All of us have been through a million changes, whether it's been financial stress or, schooling, graduations, birthdays, funerals. Everything has changed. Weddings, everything around us has changed. And this is the time to kind of like ease up off of yourself. And I know, like, once again, I know I am all about like, hey, you got work to do. You got to work on yourself. But seriously, you also have to ease up off of yourself and just be present in the moment. And I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a backstory. So I'm going to run it back. I spent years in the gym as a trainer, and I purposely would never take on new clients after the new year. And that's because I felt like this. If you had to wait until January 1 hit for you all of a sudden to want to get serious about your health or your working out and your fitness, then to me, you were only going to come in there. They usually come in there for about six weeks max. Okay. So when new clients would come into the gym after New Year's, it was usually around 6 weeks max. And since I was invested in my clients, okay, so I'm the type of trainer that I'm not in there for numbers. It's one-on-one, it's coaching. It's about your personal life, your fitness, your job, your relationships, and all of that. So when you have these floods of people who come in the masses, because like, oh, it's New Year's, let me start working out, and they're in there for 2 to 6 weeks, it was a waste of time. And because where they were coming from, the place that they were coming from wasn't genuine. A lot of times they're in there because it's New Year's. Let me make a resolution because that's the trend. That's tradition. That's what everybody does. And they don't want to be the only one left out. You have conversations and people are like, oh, So what is your New Year's resolution? What are you giving up? What are you changing? So they weren't serious. And I honestly do not have time to train people and invest in people. And they weren't going to be there in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 6 weeks. And also, when times get tough, when it comes to working out and stuff, those people were easily ready to give up because, I mean, they're just in there. They're really like playing. So that's why I never took new clients. I always like halted during January. After that, I would take them around February and March when everybody started dying down. Then I'm like, okay, these are the people who, for whatever reason, right now in their life, they're like, you know what? I need to work out, or I need a trainer, or I just want to get back to myself or lose weight or gain muscle. So I have never been for New Year's resolutions because to me, they're not realistic. All right. If you really want to make a change, if there's like any change you want to make in your life, why are you waiting until January? Why are you waiting until January 1? If you want to make the change, if you're at your breaking point, do it. If it's something with a relationship, or if it's something with a job, or traveling, or just anything that you have wanted to do or that you feel you need to do, getting your credit up, buying a home, anything like that, there is no point in waiting until January 1. If you're serious about it, then you would already set everything in motion to do it. Oh, okay, we got some questions. Oh, happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So I gotta check my notes. So that's what's wrong with New Year's resolutions, is that they're unrealistic. A lot of times people's intentions and their why, like, why are you doing it, is not genuine. Okay. If it's like I said, if it's a change that you really want to make, you don't have to wait until January 1. And we already know that a lot of us have been forced into multiple changes this whole entire year. Okay. So we've had a million changes. And now you want to add more pressure onto yourself and think about what's wrong with you, what's wrong with your life. So my thing is, if you are going to make a change and if you're going to have a resolution this year, do something small. Okay. Build off of something that you have already done, or do something very small and realistic. For example, I've already had a lot of people hit me up and they're like, okay, I want to lose weight. All of a sudden they want to lose weight, but they've had this whole year to lose weight. And granted, kudos to you if you want to lose weight. But if you're coming from the couch to trying to work out, do not think that you're about to train for the Boston Marathon. And I'm not saying that it's not, it's not attainable, but literally, if you're coming from the couch or from behind the computer screen, or you hit that kind of lazy spot during quarantine, set a small goal. Okay, so I'm gonna get up off the couch and I'm going to do, I'm gonna work out for 20 minutes today. Or okay, if you do that once, one day a week, okay, now I'm gonna move up to twice a week. Or if it comes to your eating, healthier eating habits, if you want to eat more, say you're the type of person that eats 1 or 2 meals a day, which I am against. I know some people fast, but I believe that you need to eat, 4 to 6 times a day, keep your metabolism up. But currently, right now, if you eat twice a day, why would you wake up in 2 days and say, okay, I'm going to meal prep, I'm eating 6 times a day, I'm going to drink this much water, I'm going to do this, this, and this? You are not, I'm not trying to be funny, but from years of experience, you're not going to stick to it because that's too much of a leap. So like right now, if you're eating 2 times a day, then you can say, okay, starting next week or January 1, I'm going to eat 3 times a day. A week after that, I'm going to move it up to 4 times a day. Then your body will start to adjust. It'll start to move your metabolism and everything like that. But it's all baby steps. Okay. It's like everything is baby steps. If you drink, let's say you drink a ton of alcohol. Well, not like that. I mean, not alcoholic, but say you do want to lighten up on your drinking or whatever. That does not mean go into your house and your cabinet and just throw everything away, especially if you do have self-control, but just take it back. Okay. Instead of, drinking 2 or 3 drinks in the evening when you come home or whatever, cut it back to 1, and then, or 2, and then cut it back to every other day. And then maybe, okay, I'm just going to drink 3 times this week. And then maybe you're saying, okay, now I just want to be a social drinker. And if I'm out, I'm going to drink. But the thing is that you have to set very small, realistic, attainable goals for yourself, because it takes the pressure off. When you set your goals really high on top of everything else you have going on, and if you don't make your goal, if you miss your mark, all you're doing is adding on more pressure, more stress. You know if you're not reaching your goal. So if you're like, okay, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds in the next 2 weeks, and you start to lose three, and you say you lose 5 pounds, instead of celebrating that 5 pounds, you stress and freak out over the fact that you did not make the 20-pound mark. Okay. They're like, oh, I still have 15 pounds to go. Instead of focusing on like, well, wait a minute. I've, made these changes, and at least I'm 5 pounds lighter than where I started. Okay. So please, if you are going to have a New Year's resolution, set really small, sorry, I got to get comfortable. Set really small, realistic, and attainable goals. All right. Another thing is New Year's resolutions can be counterproductive. They do not always light a fire under everybody. Okay. Like I said, I'm that type of person that has always been against them. So if I ever jumped on that bandwagon and was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm not. I'm lying. I'm not going to do it. Okay. So, like I said, they can be counterproductive because if you are missing those marks, then you sit up and you worry about it. And we all know that worrying gets us nowhere. Okay. I am a worry wart. I worried about like, okay, I have to get on live. You know what I'm saying? Is the camera going to work? Are they going to be able to hear me? Are the lights going to be okay? Is anybody going to watch? And I'm just being honest. We all worry about things naturally. So to add more stuff on top of that is like a no-go. All right. So it's counterproductive. It'll make you stagnant. Like I said, if you're anything like me, when you sit up and worry about stuff, you just kind of sit and you're just like stuck. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. What about this? What about this? And then you miss out on so much more. Okay. You miss out on so many other things. Hold on, let me check you all's messages. All right. So another thing you want to do is if you're going to focus on any types of changes, the best thing to do right now, instead of making a resolution, is to focus on what went right in 2020. And I know some of you guys are probably like, nothing, but seriously, this is a time to really reflect and think about, okay, what went right? Instead of doing a resolution, what happens in my life that I didn't think was going to happen? Where am I at presently? You're alive, you have your health, you're breathing. Like for me, I remodeled a house in 2020. I literally moved into this house in March when everything shut down. Yes, my kids were out of school and they were driving me nuts, but I purchased my first home. I remodeled it. That went right. I'm coming out of my comfort zone because if you did not know, I have a fear of cameras. Okay. So I'm doing this with you right now. I came out of that comfort zone. I have my health. I was outside. I was more active with people. I was interacting with others. So I can kind of be a little bit of an introvert. So I was, meeting my neighbors and talking to them from a distance. Just all types of things happened that went right. But I really want to hear from you guys. So you have to think what went right, not what went wrong. Of course, we had the race relations and we had the presidential election and we had Corona that disrupted everybody's life. But instead of like that stuff is out of our control. Okay. And instead of saying, I know we joke about like, oh, forget 2020, I'm leaving Corona in the past and all of that. But who knows when Corona will leave. So that's here to stay. But what is in your control? What I'm saying? So really focus and sit up and think about and maybe write it down. Fellas, I know you probably don't journal, but just think about it, and think, what went right in my life and focus on that. That is what you need to meditate on, is everything that went right. And also some of the things that could have went wrong that did not go wrong. Okay. Like everything is up in arms. And as much as I fuss and, with my kids and I'm thinking about all the other stress and pressures that I have, I'm like, you know what? It's all is well. If it is not in my immediate control, I am going to let it go. All right. So another thing, so after you meditate on what went right, think about anything that you started to build in 2020. This was a year for building. And I know if you look on social media, people were starting businesses and, all types of things. And for some people, they were like, you know what? I can't do that. And I get it. For some people, them being productive was just getting up every day and trying to make it through the day because their life was turned upside down. But for everybody else, we were building. Like, people were setting their foundations. People were forced to do things that they never thought about doing, taking their businesses to a new height, or, whether it was working from home, or, coming up with other ways to have, like, a passive income. So think about that. What did you start building in 2020 that you had constantly been putting off? But this time around, you had the time to start it. And you're going to take that from 2020 into 2021, and you're going to keep building. I feel like from 2020, a lot of legacies are going to be birthed. Like, a lot of people were really forced out of their comfort zones and to really hone in on things that they were passionate about that they probably never would have done if the world wouldn't have went up, the way it did. I know for myself, there were things that I was doing. I probably still technically would have been in the gym, training and coaching people the way that I was. But like now, I can't really be in front of people that much. So it forced me, like I said, to get on camera. It forced me to really step out of the shadows from the life that I had, been accustomed to, and from being behind the scenes when I was married. And it forced me to be like, you know what, Avery, you're always pushing other people. You're always branding other people. I'm a coach. I'm coaching other people on, how to live their best life, how to take the stage, how to stand in their spotlight and how to thrive in all areas. And now I'm having to do it. But if Corona wouldn't have happened, I honestly probably would have still been sitting up, scared to pull the trigger. I just would have been used to, the people that I interact with on social media and the ladies that came into my gym, or the speaking engagements I got asked to do. But I would not probably have come out of my comfort zone anytime soon, because I have always struggled. And I know I tell you guys to come out of your comfort zone, but I have really struggled with this type of interaction because I do not like being on display. And some people may say, oh, well, you can take pictures and you do this on Instagram, but that's different. That's because that's in my control. But this is out of my control. People watching me, people judging me, and all that kind of stuff, which I'm used to. But now it's like blatantly in my face. But I could not allow that to keep me from chasing my purpose and from doing what I was created to do. Because I'm like, you know what? Now it's 2020. I don't know what the future holds. You know what I'm saying? And I do not want to be the type of person that in the future, I'm like, you know what? I shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I'm saying? My dad always told me, like, you do not want to have any shoulda, coulda, wouldas. So I was like, you know what? Pull this trigger, because tomorrow is not promised. Let me go ahead, step out of my comfort zone, start something that I never imagined. Not only do my children's fathers have to, leave a legacy for them, but now I have a chance to leave a legacy for my own children, for them to say, you know what? Like, I see my mom out here, all of this happened. We bought a home. She remodeled it. She's putting herself out there. She's coming from, like I said, I'm coming from behind the scenes. And I have people who I have coached, and they're like, you know what, Avery, we're so proud of you because you've always seen the best in us. You knew we could do it. You saw where I could go before I ever saw it. And now you're doing it for yourself. And that's my process. Like, that's what I'm doing here with you all. Yeah, it's not perfect. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'm going to talk in circles. I'm not going to have the sound right. And I'm not going to have, like I said, the tech stuff in the trailers yet. But the point is that right now I am building. One of my mentors was like, hey, brick by brick, just do it brick by brick by brick. Because like I said, I'm used to doing it in my little small confined comfort zones. But this is the world we live in. This is the digital age we live in. And yes, we already know my message is not for everybody. And there's going to be a lot of people who are against it, but that means that I am doing something right. And so I will not, like, that's nothing. I'm not going to change that either. It's like, it's 2020. Why not? I'm going to talk about things that are going to make people uncomfortable. This is not the time to hold back in any area. Okay, I went on a tangent, but hold on. So we already said, set smaller, realistic goals. Focus on what went right in your life, especially when so much is going wrong. Reflect on all the changes that you have already made and probably thought you would never make. Okay, even if you were forced to, but just, reflect on all the changes that you made that you thought you wouldn't make. And then, like I said, if you're watching this one thing I know is that means that you are alive. You know what I'm saying? At any moment, anything can happen. And we really take that for granted. Like we just get up, we breathe, we walk around the house, we do all kind of things that we forget. And recently it's on my Instagram story and it says Road to Recovery. I went to Houston with a good friend of mine. She was a client and then she became my hairstylist and like a baby sister. Anyway, she moved from from St. Louis to Houston. Okay. Her son had been sick and Texas Children's Hospital is the best hospital around for him. So she literally packed up everything. It's just her and her son. He's 5. She packed up everything to move to Houston. And it was put on my heart, to drive her down there. So I drove her down there. I left my kids here. I'm like, okay. And she was like, I'm not going to ask for help. She was like, Avery, I don't need it. And I'm like, look, if it was me, I know I would have a team of people to come down there and help me. So anyway, I drove her down to Houston. And the point is that like I knew her son had been sick, but this was the most time that I ever spent around her and around her son and just everything that she has to handle. You know what I'm saying? Like her day-to-day stuff. And she has, he has a tube. She has to feed him. He's learning to walk again. His speech right now, he cannot talk, but everything she has to deal with, it really made me think, I'm like, dang, like I take a lot for granted. Like the fact that I can get up and grab, a cup of water and drink it, and it's not coming to me through a tube. The fact that I can bend down and tie my shoes. The fact that, I can breathe at night and sleep without oxygen right next to me. All that kind of stuff, it made me really think about everything that we take for granted. I was complaining like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I can't go inside the gyms. I want to be able to travel. I want to go to Canada. Canada shut down. All that whining and nagging. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, even right now in this moment, like, there is so much that we forget about that we just act like it's given to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's given. And I was looking at my daughter when I was dropping her off to school, and she jumped out the car and ran in. And I'm like, the fact that she can walk, you know what I'm saying? Or the fact that, I'm always complaining that they eat up everything in the house. I'm like, I'm constantly buying groceries or whatever. But they can eat food. I don't have to like blend their food and I don't have, you know what I'm saying? And they don't have to go to the hospital and stuff all the time. I don't have to watch over them when they're asleep. But all of that kind of stuff, amidst the hell and the craziness of 2020, made me realize I have so much to be thankful for. And hopefully you guys realize it too. So, okay, I'm done rambling. I'm gonna look at some of your questions because I want you guys to ask me some questions. We're just gonna open it up to like anything else, but really quick, if you can comment and let me know. I want to hear. So really quick, what changes have you already made in 2020? So I'm not being rude, but I do have to kind of scroll through here and look. So if you've made any huge changes in 2020, go ahead and comment so I can see them. Oh, and thank you for the donations from Super Chat. Let me see. What have you guys? Yep, the consistency. So yes, what changes have you already made in 2020 that you are proud of? And then we are going to do like another question and answer because I know we're still all getting to know each other. We can talk about you all's plans for the New Year's if you have any at all. Let me see. Okay, so somebody said this year made them do more self-reflecting. Awesome. And let me see what else. I am naturally speaking. I don't know if I'm really a naturally speaking, but I am trying. Oh, hello, BJ. Oh, no more red meat. See, that is a good one. That's a good one. Instead of saying like, "Oh, I'm not going to eat meat," no more red meat is a good one. All right. So what have you guys accomplished? What are some accomplishments that you guys have made in 2020? It can be, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything like grand. It can just be anything. Anything that you have accomplished, let me know. I want to hear them. My bed is fake. It's fake. So I'm gonna show you what I did. This is, let's just get real. So these came from Pottery Barn. And I don't know why I was buying fake flowers from Pottery Barn. Absolutely ridiculous. But they had a bunch of them. I liked them because they were thick. So they're from Pottery Barn. And I think this one I actually broke off. I broke these off to put them on this little tray or whatever. And to make it, this actually goes in my closet on the ottoman inside my closet, which I really wish I could show you guys, but it's super junky right now. But maybe one day I'll do a live and we'll just kind of like go around and I'll show you guys that. But yeah, those are from Pottery Barn. Oh, okay. Chuck said he changed his profession this year. Awesome. Okay, so really quick, Chuck, is it something that you've always wanted to do? Thank you. Yes, they are big but beautiful. I'm waiting to hear from Chuck and see. You know what? A lot of people, while waiting for Chuck, let me see. Chuck said he throws a bowl of popcorn. No, not at all. You know, I know a few people that changed their professions this year. I know a lot of people that got promotions. I have a good friend who is her and her family, her and her husband both got great promotions and they're moving to another state. So there's like a, you know, she was like, you know what, I feel like some people almost feel bad talking about their blessings and everything good that happened to them in 2020, but you should not. You know what I'm saying? There is, it doesn't mean that you're bragging, but people want to hear that. Like, I'm the type of person, I like to hear good news. I like to hear when other people are winning and got stuff going on, especially when there's, like I said, there's a lot, you know, a lot of other mess going on. I love that. So if you have been blessed this year, if you have changed professions like Chuck, if you've gotten a promotion, if you've bought a house or a car or lost weight or beat cancer or whatever it is, you should be proud of that. You know what I'm saying? You should be proud of it. Scream it from the mountaintops because we all need to hear it. Yes, okay, so somebody's starting an online business in 2021. Hey, we all know this is this is the digital age and this is the time to do it. And I've had, you know what, so I've had a few people who are like, "Oh, I want to start an online business, but everybody is online." So what? That does not mean there is a spot for you. So what? So kudos to you. Congrats. Awesome. It was a needed change. Good. Oh my gosh. So somebody put some money on Bitcoin and it's paying off. That, now that's huge. You know what I'm saying? That is huge. That is awesome. Okay, Chuck went from warehousing to IT. Great. Okay, so Z, all right, boo. She said she has been more motivated than previous years to be more productive. I am with you on that. You know what I'm saying? I am with you. I've always been productive for others, but when it came to myself, I was just kind of like, ah. But that's the thing, you know, like I think 2020 struck, you know, put a little heat on a lot of us to be like, now or never. You know what I'm saying? Now or never. Because one thing we cannot get back is time. Oh, Kobe diversified his portfolio. Awesome. That's, I mean, that's huge. You guys, this is awesome. I really like this. I like hearing this kind of stuff because I know, like, I've seen the memes because I've been laughing at them. Like, don't do, you know, we don't want another 2020 or look out. Some people are like, they're not, you know, they're scared to do anything because they don't know what's going to happen. But one thing is that we cannot live in fear. And I remember, so when during the quarantine and lockdown, I went on a trip. I went to Cabo. And at first I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to post pictures because I don't, you know, I don't want people to know that I'm out and I'm doing this, this, and this. And when we went there, we were saying like, you know what? And oh, Lord forgive me. But at that time, I was like, I would rather take the risk and do something fun and possibly get corona instead of getting it walking into the grocery store or, you know, going to, you know, or getting gas and doing it. So he's like, you can't, you do have to be cautious. You do have to be mindful, which we always need to do. but you cannot live in fear. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people now who are living in fear. And so, and I feel bad for them, but like you can't. You just have to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Life throws curveballs. Life has its disruptions, but you just have to adjust and keep moving. All right, let me see. I got some more coming through. Somebody said, I'm a personal trainer. That explains why I look like I'm in my 20s. Yes, thank you. I don't really do like I said, I don't really do one-on-one training anymore. I do more of, just the overall wellness coaching and like 6-week sessions, 12-week sessions, this kind of stuff. I consult with other trainers, aspiring trainers, and people who are, into like the whole fitness, health and wellness types of things. So that's what I do. That's what I love. Health is wealth, for sure. For sure. All right. So now I'm going to open it. I was going to play a game, and my moderator told me that was cheesy. He was like, these grown people do not want to play a game. I was like, well, why not? Like I said, tomorrow's my birthday. So I didn't really feel appropriate telling you guys to like pour a drink or whatever or anything like that. But since this is like my first official live, I did want to open up to some questions and answers, or if you guys do have an idea, if you do have an idea and you want to play like this or that. He said truth or dare. My moderator was like, play truth or dare. I was like, definitely that could go all the way left. Definitely not doing that. But yeah, if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you just want to talk about right now, I am going to be on here for like another 30 minutes. So let's just talk. Or I want to hear your New Year's plans. Does anybody have anything exciting planned? Does anybody have any trips coming up? How was your Christmas, your Kwanzaa, your Hanukkah? Somebody said, oh no, not truth or dare. No, right. Not at all. Oh, thank you. Thank you for time. Somebody said they would have poured a drink. No, seriously, do whatever, okay? Don't do whatever. But if you want to pour a drink, go ahead and pour a drink. Okay, the difference between, somebody said, what is the difference between living in fear and being extra precautious? Okay, so here's the thing. I personally feel like that I've been pretty, precautious. For example, when it comes to the whole virus and COVID, wiping stuff down, not having a lot of different people in and out of my house. Like I did halt the remodeling on my house once I moved in. Like my master bathroom wasn't even done, but I didn't want people coming in and out of my house. But to me, when you're living in fear, you're being held captive. Okay. It's like you can't function. You can't maneuver about the way you want to. You're just scared. Cautious is good. Like for example, when you are about to cross the street, now I'm not like afraid, but you stop, you look both ways. You're being cautious to make sure that you don't get hit. Now, living in fear would be you're also standing right next to the person who's getting across the street, but you literally cannot cross. Like you will never cross that street because you are petrified of, you're afraid of the unknown. And then what you do is you think about all the things that could go wrong. Okay, if I step off this sidewalk and cross the street, what if, an 18-wheeler comes up and smacks me? What if, it causes a whole collision? I'm going to die. It's like, that's how you focus on the negative, and you basically, you scare the hell out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You scare yourself. So we're like, me and you, I'm crossing. I'm like, okay, let me be cautious. Let me check. Okay, it's good. I'm going to go. And you're just still standing here. Fear holds you back. Okay. I have lived in fear in certain ways. Like I said, I was camera shy. Well, actually I was more than camera shy. I'm like petrified. Like even right now, this scares me. I'm like, I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know what I said, but practice makes perfect. But like, I literally used to almost get sick thinking about having to be on camera. And it's like, but if I'm not on camera, like our friend said, who's starting an internet business, this is the digital age. I would be missing out on so much more. You know what I'm saying? I would be missing out on the impact and connecting with people all over the world. Okay, so Mr. Henderson said in 2021 he is going to take a break from social media to improve his health, mind, and his health, mind, body, and spirit, and start a podcast. That is amazing. I know a few other people. Matter of fact, I'm a part of Team No Excuses with Ray Lewis, and he has also, stepped back from social media unless it's for his podcast or something like that. But we have the Team No Excuses platform, which is going to be launching. And he's like, you know what? Like, I have to focus on certain things that really matter, because one thing with social media, yes, it's a blessing, but it creates so much outside noise and so much chatter, and people get caught up in the mess that it keeps you from being present in the moment. It keeps you from focusing on you and, and everything that you need to handle, instead of like, oh, this person's doing this. Should I be doing that? This person's doing that. It's a mess. So kudos to you to getting off of social media. Let me see. What is my diet? Do I eat meat or am I vegan? I do eat meat. When it comes to things that are vegan, I only drink vegan protein shakes. Or use vegan protein powder. I have tried probably hundreds of protein powder over the years, whether they came to my ex or they were being shipped to our gym or to our house. But I love vegan protein powder because some of the other ones, to me, especially what they do to a woman's body, some things that men can drink when it comes to protein powders, I feel like for women, it causes a lot of bloating and we retain a lot of water. So the vegan protein shakes definitely, go through our body better. They don't stick to us. They don't make you bloat and do weird stuff. So I've been probably drinking vegan protein shakes for like the last 3 years. And I do eat meat. I'm probably going to cut back again. I eat chicken. I eat fish. I love, I do love lamb. Sorry. I do love lamb, but yeah, red meat I think is one of the things that I'm actually going to give up, and probably a few other things. One thing you notice is that when you eat clean, whenever you start to incorporate certain things back into your diet, just like the way your body feels kind of out of whack. So sometimes my sleep is disrupted, or I break out more, and there's just some things that right now I think my body does not agree with. So I'm going to have to get really, really strict in the beginning again to see, to kind of see what it is. And so I can take, so I can take it out of my diet, because I am getting older. I'm 38 tomorrow, but I am getting older. So there's some stuff that I just don't like sitting on my system. I just don't like that feeling. But no, I do eat pretty clean, like 70% of the time. I'm gonna try to probably take it back up to 80. I got, a little more lax or whatever, because I wanted to pick up some pounds, because over the years I had lost a lot of weight just from being busy and stressed. So I wanted to pick up some pounds. So I did get a little bit more lax on my food. But no, I'm not like just a junk food consumer. But if I want it for more than like 2 days in a row, I had like this rule when it comes to shopping and when it comes to food. If I want something, I try to wait it out. And if 2 or 3 days later I still want it, I go ahead and get it, whether it's something that I want to buy or something that I want to, eat. So that's kind of my little trick. Somebody said they've invested thousands this year. They're looking forward to the return in 2021. Yes, it's all about sowing a seed. You cannot have a harvest if you do not sow a seed, for sure. And you know what? And I like that. Whoever said that, oh, it's going so fast, because we live in an age where everybody wants instant. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to relationships, they want to get married. They want to have, the wedding and the look or whatever. That's my husband. But then they don't want to put in the work. They don't want to go through the process. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to weight loss, oh, I'm going to drink this. This is actually tea right here. I'm going to drink this flat tummy tea so I can, get rid of my stomach. Or, oh, I'm going to go buy a body. I'm going to go get my whole body done. But you still have poor eating habits. But they want it. Everybody wants everything quick. So the fact that you took some money, that you took money in 2020, first of all, when a lot of people are scared to touch their money, and you invested it, and you're waiting to see the harvest, is amazing. Because we have to get back. You have to realize that it is a lot of stuff is a process that you cannot skip. You cannot skip the process. So I am looking forward to your harvest as well. Even though it has nothing to do with me, but I'm speaking into existence and for it to keep, for it to keep coming to pass. So do I consider myself as sapiosexual? What is that? What is what is a sapiosexual? Oh, okay. My yeah, how do you start a Zoom? Okay, my guilty pleasure. Who asked that? When it comes to what? So it depends. I have a few guilty pleasures. Okay, how do I feel about COVID and everything that is going on? Black Lives Matter. All right, COVID. My thoughts on COVID. Originally, so here's the thing. I was talking to my contractor today that was here painting my house. I remember when we first started to hear about COVID. So I was remodeling my house and I went up to the paint store and I went in there. I was like, hey, you guys, do you guys wear your mask at? They were like, oh, are you worried about that COVID? I was like, COVID? What is that? I was like, no, like I was in here, like I was helping build stuff. So I was like, no, I just need it because of the dust in the house. So I remember I grabbed like a 10 pack of those, remember those N95 masks or whatever, not thinking anything of it. I was like, COVID, Corona, that's, like how a lot of us think us Americans, oh, that's over there. Like, what? No, it has nothing to do with me. And I was saying that, I was like, oh, what if it was like man made, and this is what I thought. I'm just being honest. I was like, what if it was man made? China's overpopulated and they created it and it was attacking older people to help control the population. I was thinking all kinds of stuff in the beginning. And then when it came, and I really thought it was kind of like not a joke, but I did not think it was going to come here the way it did. It's kind of like in the back of my mind. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And I remember my contractor, it was funny. He was like, oh, that's not real. I'm not going to listen to that or whatever. Today he was here and he was talking that, saying that he was at his apartment building and a guy got in the elevator and was talking about, how his wife had tested positive and had COVID and how he got tested recently and it was negative. And my contractor was like, he instantly, when it got to the next floor, that he got off and was like, I don't want any parts of that. But he was one of the people as well who thought it was like, oh, it's not real. The flu kills a ton of, kills way more people or whatever. So no, I really, it's serious. Honestly, I tried to give not too much thought to it. My grandmother recently tested positive for corona. I know a lot of people who have lost loved ones to it. I know a lot of people who were also healthy who got it, who said that they still, like months later, do not feel the same. So I do take it seriously. I do take it very serious. I don't want it. One of my sons has asthma, but also for the people who recover, but they said they feel like it feels like death. I don't want to feel like that. I've been sick before. I've had infections in my bloodstream and felt like I was going to like lose my life. So like, I don't want that. Black Lives Matter. Honestly, to be alive during this time was amazing to see how people came together all over the world. Yes, I think about it. Yes, it affects me, not only because I'm a woman of color, but because I have sons, and it affects me when we went on our summer vacation. I went to Tennessee. I took them to Gatlinburg and we were in the Smoky Mountains, and it did. I thought about it when we were driving and we had stops to make. I was like, oh my gosh, like, am I going to get pulled over? Am I going to run into Karen? And and here we are, it's like 10 of us. What's going to happen is, am I going to get into an altercation and it ends up being me? Or are my sons ever going to be a hashtag? Even when I bought the house that I bought, in the area that I bought it, I had to think like, hey, I have Black boys, who are going to be outside. They're going to be riding their bikes. They're going to be throwing the football. They're athletes. So they wear hoodies. They put their hoods up. They're going to be walking around. Is there going to be a neighbor who says like, hey, they did something. They just, destroyed my property. They vandalized my property, or they stole something out of my yard. We're going to be on attack just because of how they look. So it is very serious. I talk to my kids about it all the time. I let them know that, hey, some stuff, like my dad told me, you're born, you're a woman, and you're Black. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair, but some people are going to instantly judge you because of that. And that is honestly how I talk to my kids. I'm very open with them, but I also let them know that they are not supposed to judge others based on their religious beliefs or non-beliefs, their sexual orientation, what they look like, what they wear, what their parents can afford, what kind of cars they drive. I just try to let them know, like, hey, if you don't like somebody, you do not have to like them, but don't base it on any of those things. Okay. So I'm like, you have to have a respect for other people just because they are human. We all bleed red. So we need to have, I'm like, we need to have more respect. We need more love and not so much judgment and all of that. So like, yeah, I don't want it done to them, and it's going to be done to them and I can't control it. But I'm still, you know, in the midst of that, I'm not raising them to be hateful and angry like how other people are. Um, Watch your video. Okay. Hey, from Germany. Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, somebody has a birthday on New Year's Day. Well, happy birthday. Let me see. Oh, guilty pleasure, food, TV, or a special store. Okay. So when it comes to TV, one of the shows that I absolutely love is Blacklist. And it's so depressing and so serious, but I love I love Blacklist. Um Food, oh my God, I love pizza. Like I really love pizza, but cheese and I love pasta, but like cheese and heavy whipping creams I try to stay away from because they stick like literally all right here. Okay. And I tell not just for ladies, fellas, for you too. All that cheese and anything with like the heavy creams and the sugar, it just sticks all right here in little pockets. But that is a guilty pleasure. Stores. Why would you say that? I have, you know what? There was a point when I was shopping excessively, and yes, I was using it to fill a void. Okay. I said we're gonna be honest. I'll bring it up another time. But like I would shop. I'm, Gucci, YSL, Louis Vuitton, and in Saks and Neiman's buying, $300 and $400 pairs of jeans. Stuff that I was like, you guys see me. I'm always in workout clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always working out and stuff. I'm always in workout clothes. I was just spending money just to do it. So then what I did was I pulled back from shopping and I went in my closet and was like, hey, if it's a purse, if it's shoes, if it's clothes that you have not worn and you can still fit them, make yourself wear them. You know what I'm saying? Mix it up. But recently, I'm like, gosh, it's been a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought this house. I'm like, it's been a long time since I bought a bag. So, there are some new Gucci purses that I want. So that is a guilty pleasure. Like, there's a Gucci purse that I want. There's some Fendi bags that I want, and not saying I'm gonna buy them all because I'm not. But I may have to treat myself. Oh my gosh, somebody else was Blacklist. Right. Like I felt like Raymond Reddington was like, I'm like, can he be my father? Yes, okay. There is a lot of misinformation about this pandemic. All right. So can somebody tell me? I know this is probably taking steps to the left, but who asked me that crazy thing about Sapio? I should even no, I am not. Okay, so nope, I am not a big baller. But I do. So here's the thing. I do like nice things. Like I may have on something that like a dress that cost me $20 and the shoes may be a little bit more, or I may from head to toe, the whole outfit might have cost me $100 because what I've learned, it is not necessarily what you have on, it's how you wear your clothes. Your clothes should not wear you. But yes, I do like nice things, but I also love me a steal as well. So here's the thing, when it comes to like the purses or I have spent a lot of money on, some money like on shoes. So I'm like a boot girl. Like I love like a nice boot, whether it's suede or leather. But the types of pieces that you spend money on, and they're not trendy. Okay. So I will not spend money on trendy items like at all. I think it's ridiculous just for it to go out of style. I'm not doing it. But if it's something that just has that kind of classic look, or the older it gets, the better looking it gets, like the more worn it gets, then I will definitely spend my money on that. Oh my gosh, you know it's so funny. So sapiosexual, and I've heard of that, but I instantly, when I saw sexual, I was like, nope, I don't know where this is going. I'm not about to answer that. Um, yes, to me, intelligence is sexually attractive for sure. It is, because it takes. Here's the thing. Of course, when we see each other, when we see people, the first thing you see, I mean, you see them. Okay, so it's gonna take. You have to be attracted to them physically in some way, whether it's their height, or their hair, or their complexion, or I don't know, their hands, or something, the way they carry themselves, or their build, or whatever. And that goes for men and women. So when people are talking about looks don't matter, you will lie. They matter to some extent, because we eat with our eyes. You're looking at them. But that is not all of it. It takes way, way more than that. I remember my dad used to tell us, he was like, look, your looks can get you in a room, but they will not keep you there. He's like, it's gonna take more. And that is so true. So yeah, there are in order for me to be attracted to somebody, like, it does take the things that you cannot see. It takes their the intelligence, their character. I like to hear also how people handle their mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Their shortcomings. So I listen to hear how people talk about that. If they say like, oh, well, this happened, but it was because of him, or it was because of her. No, I want to hear people are going to take ownership. Read, love, listen. She said, yes, yep, it's how you wear the clothes. Because baby, I see people in like in stuff that is designer from head to toe, and it looks so cheap. It looks really cheap. How do I feel about myself? Would I change anything? There are some things I have changed. Like, I've gotten my teeth done. um, but you know what? Right now, honestly, the changes that I would make are not are not physical. I Through everything I've gone through over the years, and not working with hundreds of other women, but also working with myself, I had to get to the point to where I would look in the mirror and I didn't pick myself apart. You know what I'm saying? We all do it. Men do it as well. But I had to start embracing. I had to train myself. So like, when I stand in front of the mirror, instead of being like, oh, well, this, or like this hair, or your nose is like, you got your dad's nose, or your ears are pointy, or do you got a double chin? Instead of doing all of that, I had to train myself to look for everything that I love, you know, to just like, to really look at it. So yeah, now honestly, physically, no, there's not much I would change. This is me. What you see is what you get. This is me. And I'm actually kind of, I'm proud of myself when it comes to the physical stuff. I am proud of myself. I have, like I said, I have 3 kids. I'm 38. I've been through a lot. I feel like I do not look like what I've been through. And that's that's a whole nother thing. But like, I forgive. I'm not spiteful. I am petty, but I forgive. I'm not spiteful. I really love myself, and I try to work on where I'm at mentally and spiritually, as well as physically. So I feel like that has also helped play a part in, like the physical looks. Shout out to all Capricorns. Yes, thank you. Yes, okay. Erica said looks are very important. Yes, they are. You know what? They are. And I've heard some of the talks for some of the other, YouTubers, and people are like, oh, looks don't matter. They do, but we're not saying that that's the only thing that matters. No, it's not the only thing that matters. I have known some men that are with drop dead gorgeous women, and they're like, wait a minute, but I'm bored. After 2 weeks, they can't hold my attention. Like, I'm bored. They don't have anything. Their conversation goes nowhere. They don't have they don't have any values or anything like that. So it just depends on what you're into. But yeah, to me, I honestly believe you can have it all when it comes to what you consider having it all. People got to be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you have to be realistic based on who you are and where you're at. But yes, Erica, looks matter. They do get you from A to B, and everything else backs it up. My ideal type physically. Okay, so you guys are gonna laugh. I like big. Well, you might not. I like big guys. Okay, so I don't like. I'm not gonna say I don't like. I like physically. I am attracted to bigger guys. I like nice hands. This is so. I like nice hands. Um, I don't like long finger. I don't like long fingernails. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, what I'm weird. People usually think that I'm really vain, and I'm the exact opposite. I really ask when somebody's bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? Like taller than me. I am almost 5'8". I'm almost 5'8", and I weigh like 144 pounds or whatever. So maybe just call me old fashioned or old school. I feel like a man should be like a kind of like a protector. I just want I would feel safer if it's somebody that's bigger than me. Definitely, I can definitely hold my own. Okay, like don't get it twisted. I can definitely hold my own. But yeah, I like guys that are a little bit bigger. But honestly, I have a lot of women that I know. I don't have a list. I've never had a list that's like, oh, he needs to be at least 6'2". He needs to make, now here we go with that 6 figure. He needs to make X amount of dollars. His hair has to be like this. He needs to drive this kind of car. He got to love his mama, because I know some good men who do not get along with their moms. So that's a myth. That's a lie right there too. I've never really had, he had to go to this university, or he had to play sports, or this, and that. No, I don't get caught up in all of that. What attracted me to my ex? What ex? No. You know what? So we met when we were we were both in the same master's program. I was working on a master's in public administration and policy analysis. Right. I knew him briefly well, I didn't really know him, but he had wrestled with a cousin of mine in high school. But we were in the same class. And I think maybe, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. He was funny. He sat behind me and was trying to cheat off my paper because I was like, messing up the curve or whatever. And we had to split into some groups to work on, I think it was like a case study or something. But really, I think it was that. And you know what? It was the type of father that he was, and how he talked about his future, and how he talked about wanting to fulfill his destiny, and how God had chose him. God had chosen him to do what he was training to do. This is before he ever had like any contracts or anything like that. And I admired that. I admired seeing a young guy who was, focused on, he's like, okay, I have this son. This is my focus, and I'm focusing on my career because this is where God's trying to take me. I'm just a vessel, and I'm going to train. I'm going to do whatever I can to make it to the top. And I admire drive. I admire ambition. I admire people who believe in something other than themselves. Okay. Like, yes, I do believe in God, but anybody that believes in a higher being that can keep them centered and gives them like a moral compass or whatever, and they're spiritual and they're in tune, I am attracted to. No more questions about that. No. No, that's true. A guy any size can be a protector. You know what? And my ex isn't tall, but this is just really like when somebody asked me that, what was like naturally, what was I physically attracted to? Especially growing up, that's what I was attracted to, because when you're young, I always felt like, guys and girls have that weird growth spurt. So yes, I was the girl that was like during class pictures. Remember people used to take those class pictures? They had to stand in the back with the guys. I had to stand in the back row with the guys because I hit my growth spurt sooner than them. And I think it wasn't until like middle of high school or whatever, people, guys started to get like a little bit taller than me. But no, my dad, amazing protector. He's like 5'11" or whatever. But in my mind, that's naturally, what I would think is like, oh, okay, I wanted somebody bigger than me. When I say bigger, it just means bigger. I don't want to outweigh the person that I'm with at all. Like, I don't want to. What if I want to sit in your lap? I don't feel like I'm squishing you, or if I hug you, I'm heavy handed. You know what I'm saying? And I am like, I'm strong. Women have, what, women have like a weird strength, but I'm strong. So yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm, leaning and I'm about to break you. So bigger, way more, or if you're tall or whatever, you just have to be. You got to be bigger than me. Yes, ambition is an attractive trait for sure. Okay, so Eric, let me see. I can ask for those things because yep, a reflection of what. Wait, hold on, you guys. I'm reading some of these comments. Let me see. There's an article that just came out 2 days ago explaining that healthy people do not carry a virus. Oh yes, okay, I saw that about asymptomatic. Sorry, we're going back to Corona. About asymptomatic people carrying the virus and how they couldn't necessarily give it to other people. I just saw that. I was like, what? And this whole, I have not had it. Um, from what I know, I'm about to travel soon, so I have to, I have to get that test. Have any of you guys had that test, that like nasal thing? Because I'm traveling in a couple weeks and I have to get that, and I'm not looking forward to that at all. I heard from a friend, she was like, it burned, her nose was burning for like 2 days. Mm-mm. I already went to the eye doctor a couple weeks ago, and I was in there for 2 hours, petrified. And now I have to get that thing up my nose. I am not with that. Let's see. Somebody said, don't take the vaccine. Oh, and you guys are making a comment about my chest. Now, since we're all adults out here, thank you. Thank you. All right. Hold on. Okay, so really quick. So do you guys have any plans for the New Year's? Is anybody doing anything? I know you can't really, do people celebrate it, like go to parties or whatever? Some of you guys have probably been up in some parties and up in booths and everything like that, not wearing your mask. But does anybody have any special plans for the New Year's? And please, yes, I cannot see all your questions. There are, I mean, in comments, there are a lot of them. But right now, until like I get off of here, you can go ahead and add some more stuff. But yeah, I want to hear what people are doing for the New Year's. Or if you guys, like I said, has anybody traveled, or is anybody going to be traveling anytime soon? Okay, so somebody took the test and they said it does not last long. The burning sensation does not last long. All right, now Chuck, with the new job from warehouse to IT, see, I remember that. Don't come lying to me, because when I take it, I'm gonna record it. And that's another thing. So really quick on YouTube, I am waiting for my little community tab to pop up, because I always have all types of nonsense going on. And I want to be able to post stuff that I don't necessarily post on my Instagram so you guys can see it, whether it's polls and stuff for upcoming topics. So I do want to hear about upcoming topics. So I want to have use my community tab for that, just to post behind the scenes stuff, whether it's like a quick video or a picture or anything like that. So hopefully that's up by the time I take the test. So Chuck, if my nose is burning, you can look and I can let you know. My ethnicity. Oh, my ethnicity. Every what what do I look like? Everything. Okay, so I think for where I'm going, Kobe, for maybe going to Dominican Republic. So it's something with I have to take that test so many days before I go. So that's why it can't be like the mouth swab. I think it has to be up the, I don't know why I keep doing this. Up the nose. Oh, awesome. You were planning on completing 2 fantasy stories, submitting your work for an anthology. Okay, this is read, love, listen, brainstorming other ideas. That is inspiring for sure. I love it. Okay, so somebody said they also got the test and it didn't hurt. You know what? So I've also heard that it just depends on like who does it. I am scared. Okay, is anybody taking when it happens? Oh, okay, you thought it was Guyanese. Really? You know what? So I get that a lot. I get that. I get what else do I get? You should see my dad. Like he gets it bad. Every time I like travel, people are like, What are you? Like, where are you from? I'm like, St. Louis. And they're like, no, like from the mother country, like where like where are you from? Um, don't take any test, sounds like a scam. Let me see. You got it in a hurt. Oh my gosh. No, you guys are scared. Now here I go. I'm about to be living in fear. No. Are calisthenics better than lifting weights? Okay, so here's the thing. I personally, if you guys saw the weights that I have here, I do not have a lot of weights. I do lift weights. To me, and I've said it before, the most important piece of exercise equipment or anything that you could like lift is your body. You would be surprised like how many people are in the gym lifting weights, but they cannot hold their body in a push-up plank position, or they can't hold it in a regular plank position. Or I used to do these things, where you're kind of like laying flat on the ground. I call them body ups, and you just push yourself up into a push-up position, but you can't snake your body up. So it's like you're laying face down, like everything's down the ground. You just push yourself up in like one motion. They cannot do that at all. And it's because they don't know like the right muscle groups. They don't know what to squeeze. Just because you have, you can lift heavy. If you don't have any core strength, if you don't know how to isolate certain muscle groups to complete a move, then like what's the point? You'll see people like, oh, I bench this, I bench this, I bench this, but they can't hold a squat, you know what I'm saying? Or they can't hold a lunge, or they can't sit in a V sit, when you're kind of leaning back, you're contracting your abdominal muscles and your legs are off the ground. So I honestly, when I train people, I train them on like their body weight, using their body first before I add anything else. And plus it helps, it helps prevent injuries. But if you're like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, but you don't know like how to isolate the muscle groups, you don't know how to control, like I said, control your body, you don't know your own strength, then that is like no help. Let me see. Okay, when you do push-ups and planks, I feel my weight. Yes, that's what I'm saying. You feel your weight. And also when you do exercises like that, a lot of the body weight, well, I call them, body weight exercises because everybody knows what calisthenics means. But when you do those, it also helps you with your form. Okay. Because if you're doing a push up and you're like, wait a minute, why do I feel it like your neck shouldn't be straining when you're doing a push up? Not if you roll your shoulders down and back, you lock them, you make sure that you have your shoulder aligned over your elbow and wrist. A lot of people just have poor form and they're like doing push-ups like this. It's like, no, everything should be stacked. Shoulders down and back. Are you feeling it in your chest? Are you feeling it here? Like you should not feel it in your neck and all that kind of crazy stuff. Let me see. You do like lifting heavy? Yeah. So here's my thing with lifting. I definitely lift for sure, but I am that person. Lifting sometimes I feel like it's like the slowest, and I should not be saying this as a trainer, the slowest workout. And I get bored quick. Okay. So when I do, and like, yeah, you're working out and it's a good workout, but I like a little bit of torture. So I want to feel, you know what I'm saying? Like Sometimes I like to feel like, here we go. I like to feel it instantly. So I'm the type of person that would do burpees. I'll do burpees, and then I'll be doing squat jumps. I'll do planks. I'll do plank jacks. I'll do a lot of ball slams. I'll do all of that stuff that like takes my breath away really quick because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really good to work out in. But no, I have actually slowed down my cardio as well, and I've been doing more lifting. I just feel like it takes me forever, and sometimes I don't have like an hour or an hour and a half. So that's why a lot of my workouts are really like intense. They're HIIT workouts. They're, high intensity interval training. Because if I have 30 minutes to spare, it's like, okay, quick, I can get a good workout in. I'm like the queen of 45-minute and under workouts. Getting rid of love handles. Should you get laser lipo? Okay, so I am not against surgeries or anything like that. But first of all, you need to check on your eating habits. Okay. So how are you eating? What are you doing too much of? So, and here's the thing, some stuff is genetic. So when people are on social media saying, like I've done before, like, oh, drink this and you can lose all of that. No, you do have to look at the people in your family, like how they're built and everything like that. But if you have just like love handles right here, here's another thing, you cannot target fat loss. Okay. So when people are like, oh, I want to lose this, but keep this, or, lose this, but keep this, or, guys may say, okay, I want to build this, but not this. You really can't do that. So it's kind of going to be overall at first. But one thing with love handles, sugar and dairy. Okay. On men and women, sugar and dairy. If you consume a lot of that, that could be the trick. That can be a problem as well. That you'll store it. You store it like a camel, here, and here. So the sugar and dairy. So check what you're eating. Like I said, clean that up some, and then your physical activity. And here's the thing: if you start losing weight, you're not just gonna lose it here, baby. If I can get people to like lose or gain in certain spots without surgery, I wouldn't even be on this. I probably wouldn't even be here right now. I would have I'll be the most powerful woman in the world. But yeah, so overall exercise, your cardio, certain things, jumping jacks, mountain climbers, a little bit like light lifting, lighter weights, high reps, just movement. But really, most of the things that like affect our body, it's not even exercise, it's what we eat and what we don't eat. Yeah, sugar, dairy, and bread are not good for anybody, and they're oh so good. They're so good. Um, yes, P90X is a ton of push-ups. And you know what? I really can't. Yes, Oh, of course, climbing a mountain. What? That is a great workout. I don't climb mountains, but I've hiked a little bit. But no, I do not climb mountains. It is a good workout. And over here, I actually have my Aerodyne bike. That's what I've been doing because I love working out outside. I like being 90 degrees plus, put me right smack dab on blacktop in the sun, and I will work out because also it helps me control my breathing and work on that. It's like really intense. But since I cannot be outside right now working out because it's cold, I am torturing myself with this Aerodyne bike. I think tomorrow I have a plank. I'm starting plank, which is like Legree. It's like on the Mega Reformer. So you guys will see me doing some plank workouts, and that's a lot of slow, low impact but brutal resistance training. A lot of the bands, and you're like shaking like a leaf. I love sugar. Intermittent fasting. I don't believe it. No, I don't. You know what? When it comes to fasting and all that, unless it's something that you know how to do and you can do it for a long period of time, I don't necessarily, believe in it. If it's something just to like try like quick, it's like what's the point? A lot of people see stuff and they just want to try it, but they don't have any other knowledge behind it. They don't know how it's going to affect their lifestyle, how it's going to affect their mood, their energy levels, and all of that. And they like don't prepare for it accordingly. Just like when people are like, oh, I had a girl one time They came to boot camp, passed out. She passed out in the middle of, good thing she signed that waiver. She passed out in the middle of boot camp. I had to call, we had to call 911 and everything. And we were like, what is going on? And she was like, oh, well, recently I went vegetarian. Okay, cool. So what have you been eating? Nothing. It's like, well, why would you do that? Because she saw somebody else do it. It's like, don't do it. And you're not prepared to, you're not prepared to do it. Don't just starve your body. And then you think you're going to come to like a boot camp and work out and you have not put any fuel in your tank. No, ma'am. Oh my gosh, battle ropes are so good. Battle ropes are a good workout. Gosh, this is going like complete fitness. We're doing like a whole fitness session. Burpees, I know, Chuck. It's a love-hate relationship. They're so good, though. I absolutely love them. I love burpees. Okay, let me see what else is going on. I'm gonna have to get off in it like in a little bit because I don't want to, I don't want to keep you guys all night. But I did want to touch on why I said no New Year's resolutions. So a lot of people probably like, oh my gosh, why would you say that? Aren't you about change and all that kind of stuff? Yeah, I am. But I'm also, like I said, about grace. And I'm also, I'm about, really what I'm about is you doing what you should do that pushes you forward. Anything that pushes you back, I am against. So that's why I said no New Year's resolutions, because a lot of them just are counterproductive and they add stress and they get you focusing on everything that is wrong when we have done a lot of that already in 2020. So that's not going to help you. So that's why I wanted people to focus on something positive, focus on all the good, focus on changes that they've already made that they were not used to making, and all of that, what they have already started to build in 2020 that they can carry into 2021. And just the fact that you're alive and you're, and you're as healthy as you can be and all that kind of stuff. Rob said fasting keeps the six-pack looking right. I wouldn't know. I don't have a six-pack. I have like a 4-pack. Oh, candy's a guilty pleasure. Yes, 2020 did show us, you know what? That is a good comment. That plans can be disrupted and paused. I think one thing a lot of us have trouble with is realizing that we have all these plans, and when anything happens and it interferes with our plans, it's like we freak out. But it's like, you know what? Like, that's a part, like, that's the thing, it's your plan. Sometimes, like, we try to like map out our life, like we really have control over everything, and you don't. Like, you really don't. You just have to like pump your brakes, ease up. Like, I've noticed when I have my hands on everything, that I'm trying to control everything in my life. No. When I step back, like I believe when I step back, I'm like, okay, God, you know what? You are the architect. You know what I'm saying? You are the architect. You are the designer of me, of myself, and my life. And I have to stop standing over your shoulder and being like, okay, so like right here, are you sure about this? Like, is that what you wanted to do? Okay, so you're saying that we're going to do this in 20, or whatever. No, like, what about right now? Because right now I'm ready, or right now I'm never. I had to stop doing that. It's like, trust the process. Trust the process, whether it's good. I have been in some crazy situations, whether it's good times or bad times. Just trust the process and step back and realize that all is going to be well. Oh, Floyd, I'm not reading that comment out loud. Somebody said, life is harsh. Hug me. I'm sending you guys virtual hugs for sure. No, like, you know what? Honestly, life is hard. And on a serious note, I've had people who have reached out to me about some things. I'm like, I cannot help you. And it's not in a bad way. I'm like, I can't help you, but this is what you should do. You know what I'm saying? You need to call this person, you do this, because there's nothing wrong with needing some extra, needing somebody outside of yourself or outside of your friends or your circle to talk to or whatever. So whenever if life gets so hard that you feel like, hey, I don't know whether I'm going or coming, I am definitely an advocate of reaching out to the professionals for sure. Do I know why this song either is so famous? We can't date if you don't. Now, you're asking somebody who has ADD a question. I'm reading all these comments. So even if I know it, like I didn't know what sapiosexual was, but like I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I actually knew what it was. And I just was like saw sexual and freaked out. Let me see. You guys are these people in the comments. Okay, so wait a minute. Are some of you guys friends? You guys are hilarious. JR, why is that song famous? I want to know why is it famous? And then I'm gonna let me see. Okay, you guys, we're getting off in 10 minutes. I have even though I talk about eating, I have not I have not ate today. Wait, did I eat today? I may have had a protein shake earlier. I have not ate, and I have to do a little bit of cardio, and I gotta get ready for this brutal workout in the morning. And another thing, I gotta make sure I get my beauty rest because I'm turning 38 tomorrow. I'm turning 38 tomorrow. Oh no, I do know that with Nas and Jay. Yeah, I did know that song, but I didn't know why it was famous. Can we still date? No, I'm just kidding. Life is harsh. Okay. Um, you guys still did not say what you're doing tomorrow. You guys working? Are you doing something with like your little group of people? If you're gonna be around a bunch of people, just go and be honest. Drop it in the comments. Let's see. Wait, did somebody call me a sugar mama? No. Oh my gosh, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I love them. I absolutely love them. Okay, let me see. You guys are so funny. Okay, so you know what? Really quick, and I know this is probably gonna be corny. I don't care. I am a little bit of a clown. I do like to have a good laugh. So I wanted to play. Let me see. Am I gonna? You know what I might do, you guys? After I get dressed or whatever, I'm still gonna have like a low key birthday because, like I said, we're gonna travel like a little bit later. But I may do a small, not like a planned one, but it's a small live so you guys can see me outside of t-shirts and tank. I know some people are like, hey, before you do your live, you should, put on different types of clothes and all that. I've tried it, but guess what? If you saw me on the street, I'm gonna have on tank tops. I'm gonna have on workout pants, tennis shoes, hoodies. I can clean up though. I can switch it up, but like I do lead a very active and busy lifestyle. If I was in corporate America, technically going into office, would I dress like this? No. But for what I do, this is like, this is my uniform. Um, Let me see. Okay, so really quick. So yeah, I might come on tomorrow, so we can just like have a quick little birthday cheer. Not even a birthday for me, but you know what? Celebrating 2020 is over. For me, it was uncomfortable, but it was great. I like being uncomfortable. Like I say, that's where we grow. That's how we grow. But yeah, maybe I will jump on for a little bit tomorrow. All right, who wants to play only for a few minutes, okay? For like less than 5 minutes. I just want to hear. Who wants to play this or that? Do you guys know what this or that is? Or is it like is it so corny? But I'm gonna ask you guys really quick. Okay. Netflix or Hulu? Netflix or Hulu? You know what? I wish I could take this slow mode off, but I don't know. I don't want to mess this up, so I don't know if I can. Let me not even do that. So Netflix or Hulu. And I'm going to see if I can take this. Not doing it. I'm still a newbie. Yes, Jared, I will do some. I do have that side of me, and I definitely will. I'm planning out some of my topics for the next few weeks or whatever. I'll still do some reviews on people. So I just want you guys to know I will do some reviews, but I also am going to be doing like you said, elite topics, things that are thought provoking for sure. Yes, for sure. I was getting, I wanted to get my feet wet, and I didn't want to. I'm doing, setting up my little building blocks. But yeah, I am going to be doing that. Okay, so a lot of people say Hulu. Currently Hulu, because Netflix cancels all the good shows for sure. Yes, Jared, and yeah, there. You know what? There are some really good topics that I can discuss for sure. Yes, I am. That's you guys. That's another reason why I want that community tab, because all these comments that I get, they get lost. And on that community tab, because I want to be able to post stuff and get you all's feedback. And I will cover as much as I can, as long as it's still, is in tune and in line with my purpose and what I'm here for. Because I am a firm believer about staying in my lane. Because there's a lot that I could review and talk about, but if it's not in my lane, if it's not for, all of, like the change for men and women, then I'm not really going to touch on it. But that's once that is up, I have talked to the YouTube people, and they're like, they don't know what's going on. I should have had it a long time ago. That's where I want to see, the comments and the topics, so I can feed off of those. And because like I am here, we're trying to build a relationship. You all are here for me. I am here for you. And I want us to be able to have these discussions and to talk about things that you guys, are interested in for sure. Oh, Amazon Prime is so good. So good. Okay. So, here's one. Marriage or The Bachelor or Bachelorette Life. You gotta choose one or the other, and that's it. What you choose is what you what you keep forever. Like myself. Oh, he said, okay, so men want to know how to find women that actually want them for the right reasons. You know what? There are women that exist like that, okay? There are women, but what it depends on women who want a man for the right reasons. I do believe it depends on how she was raised, or just when she gets to that point, because yeah, we don't always have the best, upbringing, but you can't blame that for how you are as an adult. So it depends on where she's at with herself. It depends on what she values in herself and about herself. She will also value and look for and admire in another person. Okay. So if I was the type of woman that didn't really care about character or loyalty, or, somebody's beliefs, or, their health, if I didn't care about like my health and my wellness, I'm not going to look for that in somebody else. If all I care about is securing the bag, that's what I'm going to look for. If I hang around a bunch of chicks and that's all that they care about is like get money, that's all I'm going to care about and nothing else. But chicks like that, I'm telling you, women that are all about money are not loyal. They will go to the highest bidder in the room. So as soon as somebody steps up to the plate and shows interest in them, who makes more money than you, or if you're, what if you're like, what? I'm making all this money, but I'm not happy. I want to leave this job, or I want to start this, or I want to do that. And they have to stick with you through some tough times, through some adjustments, or if you just want to save, say like, okay, you're like, oh, I want to build this, or I want to do this. And it's like, hey, babe, no, you can't go on this trip. No, we're not buying this. No, we're not buying that. And they get real stank acting, cut them off. Let them go. Let them go. Because they're not there for you. They're there for what you can do for them. Oh, for sure. Yes. The Flynns definitely um your friends definitely reflect them. And that's the thing. But also, guys, like a lot of you guys also, I feel like a lot of men do approach certain women with, like, I get a lot of guys that approach me with like what they can do for me and stuff like that. And I think because I don't know, because of my ex, or if they just perceive me to be one way and they think that that's what's going to get me. And it's like, no, that's like, that's not it. But for sure, women and the types of women, and who they hang around it does tell a lot. It does really tell a lot. And you can always, trick a girl and act like you ain't got it if you got it and see how she reacts. Because there's another thing. When it comes to like that whole six-figure thing, some people have a six-figure or $1 million mindset, but and they have what it takes to get that money, but they're not there yet. It does. It takes somebody sometimes to believe in you. It takes an extra push. It's a team effort. Like, not you just don't always start up here. So you want to get with somebody who is willing to be with you if you were still building. And you can tell that. So even if you're already successful, you can tell a lot about a woman. Give her like a trial phase if she'll fall off if you did not have it. Tell her no. Oh, and I hate to hear no. Tell her no sometimes. Or, see if she'll pick up the bill. Like, I'll pick it up every blue I'll pick it up every blue moon, and just see if she cares for you in other areas. And if it's not conditional upon if you just bought her something or took her on a trip or whatever, does she still care for you? Does she still check in on you? Like, hey, have you gotten rest? How's work? Do you need my help with anything? Did you eat? Are you stressed about it? Not that she nags you, you know what I'm saying? But she just lets you know that she's here for you. You know what I'm saying? She's your friend. You want a woman that is your friend, because that's, her loyalty lies there. And that's when she will not go to the highest bidder in the room. He says, and show him anything luxurious for like 30 days. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. And that's the shit. You shouldn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to do that. But there's questions that you can ask, and there's things that you can see when you can tell that somebody's about, it's only about money. And here's the thing. Some people put it up out front. They're like, look, if you can't do this, this, and this for me, I can't talk to you. And I honestly respect that more than when people are trying to scheme and make it seem like they're not about that. Just like when guys are like, look, I don't care if you can't hold a conversation, but I feel like I'm here. I want somebody that looks good. You look good. I don't care if you can't cook. I don't care if you don't make me laugh or whatever. So yeah, if that's what you want, then I believe in going after what you want. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, if a woman is about money, I just, be upfront about it. I don't believe in deceiving anybody. Don't try to finesse a man to make it seem like you're not about the money when you're about the money. You can say like, no, like, I don't want to be with anybody that doesn't make this, or no, this, but it's up to him to decide if he wants to fool with you. And you can't be mad if he doesn't want to fool with you. Just like guys they can tell a woman like, well, no, look, I want a woman who's shaped like this. I want a woman who looks like this, or, or whatever. That's your preference. Just like whatever it is, be upfront. I don't like deceitful people at all. Okay, let me see. You're the best, always speaking the truth. Thank you. Let me see. Yes, they do. They do assume 90 something percent of people assume that I'm a gold digger. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. It is bad. I am the type of person, I've always been judged. A lot of people always judge me and have, like, oh, she's like this, she's like that, or whatever. And I don't try to do anything to really disprove them. I'm just like, okay, cool. Because people who really know me know that I'm not like that. My moderator just walked into the room. He's probably telling me to get off. But yeah, like I said, no, I am not a gold digger. When I got with my ex, he was not a pro, I guess he was not pro, or whatever you want to call it. And I have passed up people who are whatever, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these people that these women, want or whatever, I have passed a lot of them up. if there's nothing more, if there's nothing more there. One thing I know now is that friendship is key. And I want to feel like, do you have my back the way I got your back? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we go to jail? Can we go to jail together or whatever? But seriously, and another thing I'm attracted to, because somebody asked, I am attracted to people who have been through something. I don't really trust a lot of people who haven't been through anything and who haven't overcome some obstacles or whatever, because that lets me know that I don't know how you handle stressful situations. And like I said, I feel like a character is developed during the process, during the tough times and everything. And people who have been through something usually know more about themselves. So I'm also attracted to people who have overcome some struggle. Are guys intimidated to approach me? Hold on. Thank you. You know what? People think that about me because I'm usually not really talkative. When I'm around people, I'm very, kind of guarded. I came from a lifestyle where I was very guarded. So I think, and I probably have that resting, face. So I'm not the friendliest person, but I am a kind person. So like a lot of times I'm just sitting up and I'm like, and then, people just like to be messy and just assume that you're one way and you're not. Um, yeah, friendship is key. Hold on. Are guys intimidated to approach me? Some guys, men, I don't think so. But it's weird now since I've kind of been out there. Some people are scared to approach me. Some people just approach me in the stupidest way that I think I'm just like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I don't think I'm intimidating. Some people say I'm intimidating. You guys are seeing a different side of me, which is funny because I usually, like I said, this is new to me. I usually have that kind of hard exterior and like very standoffish. So I think that's what kind of, scares people off. Why? Let me see. Somebody said they love their husband because they're friends first. Baby, friendship is everything. Like, yeah, I want my man to still have his friends and have his boys or whatever. Just like I do believe men should have their friends, girls should have their little group of girlfriends because you need that outlet from each other. But if you're not friends, because friends can go through anything. You can get into it with your friend, be like, I hate you, or whatever, block, and then the next day it's like, what you doing? So friendship is everything because when you're friends, you can talk, you communicate, you have a different level of respect for each other. Like I've done people wrong in the past. I've done stuff because no, they weren't my friends. So I cared, but I really didn't care. But when it's somebody that you're friends with, it's like, oh, I can really do you dirty, but I don't want to because I don't want to lose your friendship. And that's what now in life, that's why I appreciate and understand that friendship is key. Oh yeah, women don't have male friends. So do you think that if a woman is in a relationship, can she have male friends? Or do they have to be pre-existing? Does it have to be male friends that you already know about? And vice versa. Can guys have female friends and be in a relationship with a woman? Well, you know what I mean? Guys can be in a relationship with anybody, but this is for people who are in relationships with somebody of the opposite sex. Do you think they can have friendships with that of the opposite sex, or no, you don't want them to? That's a good little question. I keep saying I'm gonna get off here soon, but I really am gonna get off here soon. So they can let me see. Oh yeah, see, yeah, you don't trust people who haven't experienced adversity. I don't either. Maybe too many people fold, and I'm not saying like that something's gonna happen, but it's something about people. Like I love to hear about people's struggles. You know what I'm saying? It's like where they were and where they are now. Whether it's something from childhood, you know, if it was somebody that had suffered from depression and now they're like, look, now I don't because of this, just anything. Oh, Court. Yeah, hold on. No, hurry, hurry, hurry. I didn't see the camera though. Down here. I'm just gonna have you hold it real quick. Wait.
No, listen. I mean, ooh,
Thank you now. Here, shoot. Hold this.
what you call it?
Oh, no, it's not on there. You gotta start. Oh, here. It's on now. Hello, I'm back. It's on your face. Sorry, guys. Let me see. He did because he came in and told me he's fixing the camera now. And I have backup things, but I was not supposed to be on here this long. Okay. Like it's like all over the place. Oh, we're getting dizzy. Hold on 1 second. Okay, cool. Move it over. See, this is real. This is the real life struggle. All right. Okay, so now we're getting right. This is like major like tech support. Oh, he's gonna have to adjust it some more. You guys know I have 3 batteries. So I have 3 batteries. Just to show you guys, like I have like all like all of this stuff. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it together. But we have been on here for like an hour and 40 minutes. I definitely need some tech support. The more I do this, I will definitely get tech support. All right. So I'm about to let me see. Hold on. Sorry for Chris Rock's take on. Wait, what is Chris Rock's take on girls with male friends? I don't know what Chris Rock's take on male friends, is. Let me see. Let me see. I think when people have overcome life circumstances or the phoenix, let me see, that rises from the ashes. Yes, that's true. People who have kind of like come above and been that phoenix rise from the ashes, they are not jaded. That is definitely true. What is wait, I'm interested. I want to know what is Chris Rock's take on girls with male friends. I have no idea what it is. And I've definitely had some people draw some boundaries to me before, like, hey, who is this guy? Do you guys have a history? Like, everybody wants to know what is that friend I don't know about. And girls are like that too. Like, hey, so that's your home. What kind of home girl is that? And why all of a sudden is she popping up or whatever? Oh wait. Okay. Yeah, my tech support was hilarious. Let me see. Something did happen. I don't know what in the freak happened to my Wi-Fi. Oh, it was a stand-up. Okay, I'm gonna have to look it up. And I've probably seen that too, and just like I have no, like like no idea. I still can't believe that nobody is doing anything for New Year's or whatever. Is anybody on here making those black eyed peas? Remember they were like that they did not work. If you're I know that's like a cultural thing, but like the black eyed peas, I'm like, no, don't make me none. Oh, somebody said that 90% of the time they think a woman's friend is someone that has seen her naked. What? You know what? I think it's almost like normal for I think it's almost normal for more for guys to have more female friends at a certain age than women, honestly. Like I don't have like I have a few like guys that I'm cool with, but I don't have a lot of male friends. When I was younger, I did. I don't have a lot of male friends at all. Somebody said no Black Eyed Peas here. I do not like them at all. Hello. And here's the thing. So like, I'm not against guys having female friends, but so like if I'm dating a guy, if you already had, your group of you already have your group of friends. You have your group of guy friends and you have your group of female friends. First of all, if I'm never around them, I haven't met them, that leaves me a little leery. I'm kind of like, But if they were already your friend, then I do have to I feel like I have to respect it. I can't just enter into your life and be like, no, you can't be friends with her, and her. And honestly, usually if it's a guy that I'm attracted to and he's my friend, his friends, I absolutely instantly love. You know what I'm saying? So I call I'm like a friend stealer. I'm like, wait a minute, that's your friend, but I like her too. That's that's my friend. So that's how I feel. But I also kind of want to know, if there's a history, just let me know. I don't want to be left in the dark. I don't want to be left in the dark with anything. And I feel like guys should have that same respect. Like, hey, if we're walking into an event and if it's a dude here that you messed with, I'm not saying this is me. I'm just saying in general or whatever, or somebody that is that likes you, is trying to get at you, just give me a heads up so I know. So if they come up and they try to speak or give you an extra long hug, nobody wants to be left in the dark. Let me see. Yes. So I am not married anymore. I have done some research on some other channels. I've had some people ask me topics about when it comes to women of color, the whole oh, you're cute for a brown skinned girl. Don't I speak out on that? Do I want to speak out on women having, women in these lists and these unrealistic standards of wanting the perfect man to sweep them off their feet, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. It's like, how can a woman have a list, but you don't want that man to have a list? So if you're like, oh, I want somebody that's 6'2" and makes this and makes that, then what's wrong with the guy saying, okay, I want somebody that's 5'4" and looks like this and looks like that? All of a sudden we want to be so offended. But it's like, we do it to you guys. You know what I'm saying? We're like, oh, I want him to be like this, and this. I'm, here I go with that again. I don't want to get in trouble, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm over. Yeah, okay, so here's the colorism topics. There are a lot of those. And the only thing I'm going to say really quick is, yes, over the years, I have definitely heard from young, especially when I was younger, oh, you're cute for a brown skin girl, or your hair is like this and you're brown skin. Okay, honestly though, and there's going to be some people going to get mad at me, but honestly, blatantly, from how has it affected my life and how I can maneuver and relationship, just anything, maybe on the back end, but I don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? Just there's probably stuff that's happened or that didn't happen because I'm a Black woman. To me, there are certain battles that I cannot fight and I cannot change for everybody. Just like I was in the grocery store and it was an older white guy and he was like, "Oh, you are a pretty colored girl." I was like, what? Some people would have went off. They would have made a big post about it. Oh, excuse me, let me quit playing with this marker. They would have made a big post about it. But honestly, that man might have been 90 something years old. So based on why would I try to go off on him or change that man was about to kick the bucket. You know what I'm saying? Based on the times that he grew up in and what he was saying to me, he meant it as a compliment. So do you know what I said when he told me, "Oh, you're a pretty colored girl"? After I went like this, it was probably, I was like, "Oh, well, thank you. Have a nice day." Yeah, so the whole color thing. Here's another thing. My daughter is brown skin. I am raising my boys also not to be like, oh, your skin, whatever. Say not to make any comments about her hair or her complexion or anything like this. But what is beautiful to me about anybody with melanin is that we come in all shades. Like I have a cousin who she's a little bit lighter, her husband's more brown skin, and their son is lighter and has red hair, you know, and then their daughter is a little bit darker than me and has beautiful black hair. And I think that is gorgeous. I know we have got to get rid of that. But I also have had some women when they interact with me, I get, you know, they may have thought they were a different color and it's like a trump card until this melanin walks on the scene. No. Yes, I am a Missourian. Do I have an accent? People keep saying I have an accent. Yeah, honestly, you know, it's the way God made me. I try not to, you know, people are gonna get mad because they want me to speak on that. I'm not because I don't know where to come from with it. You know, like I do know it exists. Colorism exists. You know, racism exists. Sexism exists. But that's not, how do I put it? That's not the kind of things I'm supposed to be speaking on. So it does not mean that I'm ignoring them or that I don't care and I don't think that they're real. It's just that that's not my platform. That's not my lane. That's not my niche. And I'm not going to go there. Like, it's not, I really, honestly, like when I got older, I felt like me being a little bit, you know, being a little bit more brown and being darker has honestly, I've seen some benefits and some pluses to it. So like, you know, I'm good. I am 37. I am 37. And I mean, yeah, no, it is annoying when you hear it. Like you're pretty for a brown skin girl. It is annoying, but yeah. I'm a great example of a melanated woman. Thank you. Hello. Yes, you know what? That's the thing. Some people do. They focus on all of the struggles, and that's all they want to focus on. And if you don't jump on that bandwagon with them, then they're like, oh, you're not using your platform to talk about this. You should be speaking on this. No, I shouldn't. Like, if that wasn't given to me, then no, I shouldn't. Like, that's not my purpose. Like, my purpose really is here, like I said, is to bridge the gap between men and women. Those, like, this civil war, this World War III that men and women have going on, that's what I'm here for. I'm trying to get it. I want to be in the middle of that. That's a lot of the things I will speak to, whether it makes women uncomfortable or it makes men uncomfortable. But I'm not, whether people want to say I'm naive or not, I'm not picking a side. And yes, if most of my subscribers or people who view me now are men, so what? I've gotten some amazing comments from men. They're like, hey, I needed to hear that, or hey, I'm gonna tell my sister, or whatever, or they just apply it, switch it, apply it to their life. That's what it's about. But yeah, certain stuff that people are like, oh, you need to focus on this, this, and that. No, I don't. Nope, not doing it. Would I date outside of my race? Um, I have before. I have before growing up. I'm trying to think. There's no reason why I wouldn't, currently. It's just I just haven't, but I have dated outside my race when I was younger. I definitely did. And that's probably also the way I was raised. And I am raising my kids the same way. I'm raising them to be, I just don't want them to downplay or to go against anybody because of the stereotype. So here's the thing. I have black boys, you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to think that they cannot date black women because they're all angry. You know what I'm saying? I never want to hear my son say like, oh, well, they all have attitudes because we don't. And I don't like that. Or when there are, black women who say all black men are deadbeats and they're not about nothing, whatever. No, that is not true. I know more amazing black men than not. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing when it comes to like dating outside your race. I feel like you should date whoever you are attracted to, as long as it's coming from a place of like, like from a good place and not a place where you're almost dating this group because of the myths and the stereotypes about this group. No, I don't believe in that at all. Okay, send us to your aunt. Wait, what is that name in Costa? Yes, I do. I side. I do side with the right side, but like, there's really not a side. Like, honestly, I agree with a lot of the stuff that the men have been saying that I've seen on YouTube. I do. I agree with a lot of it, but then I have some amazing women in this chat who I feel like are forward thinkers, and they're not. Oh, somebody told me that because I'm not in that victim mindset, but women who understand, like I have said before, um, the need and the importance of our men and how we have to lift them up. So like women who understand that men are not, you know, their oppressor or anything like that. Those are the types of women that that I'm here for as well. But no, I do want people who don't agree with me to hear my voice and hear what I have to say so they can maybe be like, I mean, at some point we got to stop the fighting. At some point you got to stop being miserable. And at some point you have to stop picking out all the things that are wrong and focus on the things that are right. You know what I'm saying? And just be the bigger person. Because just like I've had a lot of guys come on here and they're like, wait a minute. They're like, you're giving me hope. Not all women, I thought all Black women were this or all Black women were that. But because of you, I don't think that's what it's about. And we need some of these women to think the same thing. Like, we have some amazing, and I am speaking, like, I'm not only for Black people, but I am a Black woman. So when it comes to that, because people have asked me about that, no, stronger together. You guys will see, and let me know what you think about this name. When it does come to certain topics that are about, about that kind of stuff, I'm thinking about same team, because I've always said it. I say it to my kids, like, hey, at the end of the day, we may argue, we may disagree, you guys may get on each other's nerves, but we are the same team. So it's the same thing with you all, same team. My moderator is probably like, girl, you get off of here. But yeah, same, stronger together. Oh, tips for abs. Okay, so tips for abs. I do stay away from crunches and sit-ups. Because to me, it just squishes everything and makes it into like a bubble. Stay away from push-ups from crunches and sit-ups, planks, and a lot of things that engage your lower abdominal muscles. Okay, like those. So Google some of those. That's what kind of pulls everything together. Somebody said they are for me. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the tip. Let me see. Yes. Okay. So you guys love same team. That's why I've been putting. Some people have. What do they have? Like their, like channel series, or like their names for like their group or whatever. I'm thinking about same team, because here's the thing. I can't be, I can't be who I am without the fellas. Fellas, you guys can't be who you are without the women. That's what it is. Queens and kings, we are together. Like it is together. We don't always have to agree, but at the end of the day, on one accord. I want the best for you all, the women and the men, as we should, as you guys should want for me, and vice versa. Kettlebell, absolutely love it. Absolutely. I have some kettlebell. Well, they might not be in here, but I do have. I love kettlebells. You can do so much with those. All right, guys. It is 10 o'clock. I have been on here for 2 hours, and my moderator was like, he's younger, so he's a tech person. He was like, so how long are you gonna be on here? I was like, oh, maybe like an hour. We'll talk about the no New Year's resolutions and why we shouldn't put that stress on us. We need to focus on the positive and everything that's going well right now. And then it has turned into this. Okay, we're not gonna do any more lives like this. I had to figure out how to bring you guys in so I can actually hear you and see some of you guys. I'm going to work on that. Okay, so it says I don't know if I've been on YouTube 3 weeks yet. It hasn't even been 3 weeks. So thank you for being patient with me. How am I doing today? I am doing well. Okay, so I work out normally at least 3 days a week. For a minimum of 30 minutes. Okay, a minimum of 30 minutes. Skincare routine. My skin really broke out more. I don't know if it was from the mask or from me training outside a lot, but I have to exfoliate. Whether it's, I think right now in my bathroom, I have like a kind of like oatmeal exfoliation, but also I have oily skin. And years ago, a dermatologist told me not to use any cream-based cleansers because they have more oil in them. So to use something like foaming or whatever. And then nothing works better. Like I do, let me tell you this. I get these little, I call them cheap washcloths, face towels. Okay, it's a washcloth to me. But if a little washcloth, and I get the real cheap, like the rough ones, because when you have hot water on them and you just kind of like, like squeeze out some and like scrub your face, it works as a good exfoliator. Those really, like I have really nice towels in the plush ones, but those don't exfoliate your body. Like I feel like they just slide over my skin. I want something like, I want to like feel like everything coming off. Oh, you love the background? Yeah. So what's funny? My favorite color is black. My bathroom. Well, no, it's not. Okay, so my bathroom floor is black. My dining room, a part of my dining, so the room that I film some videos in, that's my dining room, is black. And the fact that I have a room that is not is just, I cannot believe it. But I really wanted to have a room of this home is all about like peace and good vibes. So where I sleep, or whatever, I wanted to have something that was kind of like really peaceful and airy and light. That's the only reason, because if I could have, I would have painted this room black. But I was like, Avery, don't do it. Don't do it. My workouts consist of, okay, the other day, really quick, and then I'm gonna get off. Okay, guys, I've got to go. So I had my free weights. I did 10, so I think I posted it. So I was doing like a superset. I did 10 burpees, but I had the dumbbells. So I would go down and I come up with them. I did 10 burpees, and then I did deadlifts. I went straight into deadlifts, with those. And then I went back to the burpees, then the deadlifts. I'll do supersets like that. I may do, if I'm doing shoulder presses, like doing shoulder workout, I'll do shoulders, and then I'll go into jumping jacks because it's like a shoulder burn. So I'll do something with my arms. I do a lot of like seated leg raises. I don't do a lot of squats because I have a bad knee. And when you do a squat, like you favor one side. So I do like a lot of isolated movements. So I'll do lunges. Okay. So whatever it is, I try to do a strength move and then add a cardio move to it or whatever. So I'm getting like caught up. I've been talking. So I try to do like strength move, cardio move, and then I'll do the bike, or I'll do anything like a quick cardio blast. And I'll do like sprints on the Aerodyne bike and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I try to mix it up with strength and cardio because I want to keep my heart rate up. I want to make sure that, my heart is working overtime and gets used to working. So I don't want to just do slow and steady workouts all the time. But I am a big firm believer in any type of resistance training, especially for women or whatever. It really helps kind of keep everything tight. Best tips for emotional eating. Oh, I love you too. Best tips for emotional eating. Eat. No, okay. So tips for emotional eating usually is because you're not facing your emotions and it's the same thing. So if somebody does like emotional shopping or whatever, it's kind of like a quick fix. So start facing them. And honestly, if you start writing down what you eat when you're upset and you write it down, then you look at it the next day, it's kind of like gross. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, dang, I did that. I'm also like, so I don't really do emotional eating. Sometimes I do, but I also I'm just like a late night snacker. So I keep food. I keep food in my nightstand drawer, but not like I have to stop myself from going to get chips out the cabinet. So I'll have stuff like I'll have like an apple, or sometimes if I went instead of chips, I'll do like cheese or anything like that. But no, when it comes to emotional eating, it's because you are trying to run away from something and you're filling the void with food. Just like some people will fill it with alcohol, or like I said, shopping. So you really have to, if you know that you're an emotional eater, you need to confront your emotions and any triggers that you may have. Like what will trigger you to go and eat excessively or anything like that. And you're gonna have to try to combat it some kind of way. It's like something floating in the air. Sorry. Herbalife, nope. What do I eat on a cheat day? What is a good cheat? I love French fries. I love ice cream as well, but the reason I gave up ice cream, like there's certain things that you just cannot have and you shouldn't have all the time. I will never give up French fries, but I decided to give up. I might eat ice cream only a couple of times a year, so I can have French fries. It's kind of like when you do that this or that, it's like, okay, you can't, you can have some stuff, but you cannot have it all. You got to be able to sacrifice some things. Keto, Herbalife, Weight Watchers. I personally have never done any of them. I know people that have, and then they end up coming to me and they're like, okay, now I feel like I'm starting over. One thing I'm going to constantly tell you is do not do anything that you cannot keep up with. Okay. If you're only going to be able to do it for 2 weeks or a month, do not do it. If you cannot make it a lifestyle, and obviously, like, we know we have to adjust as life, comes and goes. But if you cannot make it a lifestyle and adjust as time goes on, then I wouldn't do it. Oh, Daryl. Okay. This channel is it's really about healing and hope and just like bringing people together, but really like accountability for men and women and just becoming our best selves. I am a wellness coach, but now this live is just about everything, which is totally fine as well. We can't always talk about like the serious stuff, like I just posted another video finishing up that submitting thing, and the title might be tricky, but basically I'm talking about how some people are like, no, if I submit, it depends on what he's doing, or if I'm happy, it's not conditional. So I said it's not conditional. So no, this is a channel that touches on all of that kind of stuff, but now we're just kind of having a free for all. And I keep saying I'm getting off. I'm really about to get off right now. Wait, let me see. Yeah, so you did keto for 7 months and crash. Yeah, a lot of people do that kind of stuff and they cannot keep up with it. So you have to find, I don't believe in balance, but find what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Find what works for your lifestyle. What works for me might not work for somebody else. When I have people who meal prep and organize every meal and snack, I'm like, who has the time to do that? If I thought that was the only way I could be fit and healthy, I would, it would be overwhelming. I don't have the time to do it. So find what works for you and find out what you can stick to. Okay. Do not do all this other stuff if you know you're not going to stick to it. You end up wasting your money and your time. And like I said, you'll find yourself constantly starting over every Monday. Like, oh, it's Monday. Let me get back on track. So I said, I might as well stay on to my birthday in 2 hours. I am not. All right, guys, I am getting out of here. Thank you for joining me. It was over 2 hours. Stay tuned for that community tab. I may jump on tomorrow. If I do, seriously, guys, it's going to be under 5 minutes long, if even, okay? Under 5 minutes, or I may just post one of those quick videos like I did before Christmas, just to kind of touch base, say, hey, guys, I'm getting ready to go to dinner or whatever. This is what I'm wearing. Not that you care, but that's what I'm, just like a quick early Happy New Year or whatever, and I'll post that. Okay, you guys have a good New Year. We made it. We made it. All right. The world in upload, we all made it. We made it through everything. We made it through the financial crisis, the pandemic, the race relations, everything that is going on. We made it. So celebrate whatever you do. Celebrate where you are in this moment and celebrate where you are going. I will talk to you guys soon. Kisses. Goodbye. Bye. Happy New Year. Okay, I'm getting off. Let me end this. Thank you for telling me happy birthday. Oh, if you guys have not yet followed me, I'm getting together with my Facebook, but I am on Instagram. That is my main social media platform. I'm trying to work on Twitter and all of that. But sometimes I do post more on Instagram. But like I said, once this community tab is up, I will be posting different stuff there. And then I will start doing some private groups so we can, like I said before, so we can have more in-depth discussions and topics that you guys want to talk about. Okay. Bye.